And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Today is part number two, beyond normal blood work for hair health. What it is that you need to know. Whenever you're having your blood work, guys, you need to understand, is it good enough for my hair? Is it, isn't it? With that and more, we're going to be talking here at the Hair Wire. Let's do this, guys. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to the Hair Wire, the place where you, my friends, get hair smart. I'm your host, Sergio Cardona, alongside with Bisan Dipsy and Carrie Jarrett. How you guys are doing?
Good, good, good.
Doing fantastic. Thank you for asking.
Hey, Carrie, you are in a new location in Canada right now where you can actually breathe air.
Again, there's been a lot of fires where I am, and we're actually here visiting in Toronto, visiting my in-laws. But yeah, it's nice. We have blue skies. It's been gray skies where I am because I don't know if you
Nice.
guys know Canada. I'm in the Canadian Rocky area, and Jasper and most BC and Alberta is under fire. Yeah, so it's been very smoky. That's why I sound like this. But yeah, we're here visiting, and it's nice to get blue skies and I
That's the
breathe.
Finally,
vitamin D going.
some room to breathe. Some room to breathe. I
Yeah.
mean, the fires over there. That's crazy. That's crazy. Thank God
Yeah.
that at least move a little bit, and now you are in an area where at least you know you're not affected by the smoke. How long is it gonna guys are gonna be there for a couple of days? Then you're going back to the smoke.
Yeah, we're here until the 14th, so we're here for another week. But yeah, back home, it's a lot of tragedy right now. There's a lot of people who've lost their homes, and if you know the Canadian Rockies, we're known for Banff and Jasper. Jasper is been a significant spot for many people, especially where I live, where we'd go on vacation and go hang out. And Jasper the bear is kind of that staple bear you take a picture of every year that you go there, and all of it is gone. So it's been quite heartbreaking. So it's you know a lot of big changes happening where I am with all the fires, and it's still happening. They just flew in 200 firefighters from South Africa to come and help us and do some controlled fire burning to help control the spread. And yeah, it's been um, very devastating where we are. So it's nice to be someplace different and see family and get better quality air. And yeah, it'll be interesting the next little bit. So nice to get a change of scenery for a bit. So
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Biz, how about you? How are things in your neck of the woods?
Well, yesterday we survived another hurricane category one. It's like a storm, kind of a big storm.
Yeah.
yeah,
Um,
I've been watching that. It's crazy. All these hurricanes.
I know it's like, yeah. So, but anyway, we are like where we're located, we are away from the normal hurricane path anyway, because we're located in the North Florida. So basically, the hurricane will come from the south, and usually before it hits us, it goes that way. So we're always on a hurricane watch, but what we'll get a lot of rain and a lot of heavy wind. Outside, all the trees, branches are on the floor, and we need to have a really good cleanup today outside. We have been in the house for 2 days. It was dangerous to be outside. So sometimes it's nice. I like to be cozy with my cup of tea and, like my books and stuff like that. But I am ready for some sun, some sun. Not today, though, maybe tomorrow.
Hey, today is a good day. Today is a good day, guys. And even the weather is going crazy everywhere around the world. Hey, we got to talk about hair. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And today we're going to be talking about, those blood works. What do they mean? And how can I get a better perspective of what is the best for my hair? Because you guys, you have to realize that unfortunately, as we discussed last week, blood works, they use range, and those ranges vary upon what's the average on the population, but what's average on the population does not necessarily good for your hair. So Carrie, I want to start with you. What do you think about this, and why there's so much people upset, and they go to the doctors and they be like, oh, my blood work is normal, why do I still have hair loss? Do you get that?
Yes, I get that often, quite often, especially Yeah, yeah, you could lose with hair. How do I even start? Yeah, you can have normal blood ranges and still have hair loss. And also, too, a lot of times people come in with hair loss and not realize that um, they could not just be having hair loss, it could be just hair breakage and it'd be a breaking point and have a significant breaking point based on the the health of the hair. So for example, if you had strong hair for a really long time and then you did a crazy flip of a diet or change medication, it could actually affect the hair. And so essentially tell all my clients that every quarter of an inch of your hair grows on average a quarter of an inch a month. So it's kind of like looking at a tree when you cut it open, the little rings are, every month behind us. And so if you say that portion of your hair you went through that diet, that portion of that hair may be broken and brittle, and so it will snap and break. So yes, you could be healthy at that time frame right now with your blood work, but if you're still losing hair and having hair at that weak, brittle breaking point of when you had the blip in your system, you're going to have significant hair shedding from the breakage. So it's really understanding hair, and as a trichologist, that's what we're trained to investigate and see what's happening and so forth. You could also too have really good blood work, but there could be also a change in weather. There could be a change in your health or your age as well that could cause hair thinning and hair loss. There's a lot of factors when it comes to blood work. So I don't know.
Definitely. Now, Biz, going back to you. You gave us a good stuff last week, and we were talking about this. Now, um, we wanted to, go into the values. What type of values should I be looking at, and particularly what do they mean? What do they mean?
So I'll just repeat a little bit the difference between functional medicine ranges or optimal ranges, or for hair loss ranges, as I want to call it. We want to call it functional trichology ranges in a way that will combine
Yes.
the functional medicine and trichology together. Because even though functional medicine ranges are narrower from Western medicine ranges, trichology has in certain values, they are actually narrower than even functional medicine. So let's call it functional trichology ranges. Let me explain a little bit before I go into depth into these. So basically in Western medicine or conventional medicine, when the lab work, when you go ahead and do your lab work, all these ranges, as Sergio was saying, they are the average of the population. And in the United States, as we all know, we are in a chronic disease pandemic, actually,
Hmm.
because of our fake food. Our soil has no nutrients in it, the toxicity and the air toxicity around us, EMFs, all will create gut issues, gut microbiome issues that will not let us absorb our nutrients properly. Thus 80% of us has nutrient deficiencies, even from even from small children's all the way to elderlies, not because we are not trying to be healthy, it's just there is no nutrients that are available for us. This is one thing. And the other thing, when people go ahead and go to take all these supplements, if you take all the supplements in the world and your microbiome is not working, you're not doing anything, actually. Just being your pee is a very expensive pee. so in any way, the Western medicine conventional ranges, it's very, very wide. Now, when let me give you just one example to show you how functional trichology is different. Let us say vitamin D. Vitamin D, we all know that vitamin D is very essential for your health to begin with, for the
Hmm.
health of your hair. Vitamin D actually is a hormone. It synthesizes, it's actually one of the precursors of most of our hormones in our bodies. Vitamin D is not a vitamin only, it's actually a hormone synthesizer. And unfortunately, many insurances do not cover the vitamin D for some weird reason. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah. So anyway, vitamin D in conventional Western medicine, the values for it, the normal value is from 30 to 50, or to 60, sorry, from 30 to 60. That is the normal value. In functional medicine, the normal value for vitamin D is for you able to be synthesizing hormones that your body needs is actually from 50 to 80 nanogram per deciliter. See the difference?
Yep.
Now, when it comes to hair, to have optimal hair and reverse your hair loss, your vitamin D should be above 70 nanogram per deciliter. So now we're going narrower and narrower, even from functional medicine, because functional medicine ranges to keep you healthy. Doesn't take into consideration if you have already hair loss, how to reverse it. So if you're already in a hair loss situation, that vitamin D comes normal from your doctor, which is 30, that's normal. No, it has to be above 70. So from 30 to 70, all these people who are normal are suffering from hair loss, and it can be solved with a vitamin D pill.
And then not only considering the values of the value that it has on the body, but consider that not only it is a precursor in terms of metabolic rate, how it helps our body to create more hair, but also when you talk about vitamin D particularly, we know that it has a huge impact on our autoimmune disorders.
Right.
And whenever we talk about, for instance, inflammatory type of hair loss, which is one of the most common types of hair loss that there is out there, you definitely want to tackle down that vitamin D and make sure that it is on the right level. So, just by coping with it, the vitamin D, you can actually make huge impact on your hair loss. So having that type of knowledge definitely it puts you forward and it gives you the advantage to at least keep more hair. And this is why we're here at the Hair Wire, to keep more hair. And one other thing that I want to mention, you need to subscribe, hit the like button, and we want to see your comments right now here at the Hair Wire. Very important there. Please keep going.
Okay, that's one of. Let me say another example too. For example, cholesterol. Cholesterol has been known in the Western medicine or conventional medicine. Anything above 200 is dangerous. Okay, you now go to a doctor, go do the blood test. Your cholesterol is 200. They will give you statin. So when the drug statin, when a person takes the drug statin, it will inhibit production of your bile from your gallbladder. Then you will start not metabolizing fat properly. Then your fat will start accumulating on your belly. That's why a lot of people have belly fat, right? So in a way, cholesterol is
You're talking my
cholesterol
language.
cholesterol is actually, again, cholesterol is one of the hormone synthesizers. If you don't have enough cholesterol, or you're blocking the process of making cholesterol, you are hurting your hormone synthesis. For guys, it will be you will be having a cholesterol problem. You will end up doing a testosterone problem. You are blocking the testosterone formation. For women, we are blocking the thyroid formation. And we know if you have thyroid problem, what do we have? What is the result of having a thyroid problem? Hair loss. So whoever people who are trying to decrease their levels of cholesterol by taking a pill, they're actually causing hair loss intentionally, like directly, not intentionally, directly. Statin will cause your hair loss because it's going to stop the production of thyroid. You got me where I am at? So now in functional medicine, they will tell you even if you are 220 of cholesterol, you're okay. You're going to be okay. If it's above 220, do not take statin. What you should do, actually, you take a digestive enzyme to increase the production of your bile, so the fat will be more assimilate the fat in your system without blocking your hormone production. This route won't make you lose hair.
Interesting.
See
Because
the
a
difference?
lot of people take statins, and they don't know, for instance, that if you're taking statins, you have to cope it with CoQ10, but at the same time you want to make sure that your TSH level isn't being shot. At the same time, you want to make sure that your nervous system isn't being affected, because again, you're affecting the cholesterol that protects your nervous system. So there's a lot of things going on with statins, and people don't realize, and they're popping statins like 11, like tic tac, and you have to realize that it is, it could be a lot of things on the downside when you're taking those type of medications, if you haven't realized that there are other routes, other ways in which you can cope with it, and you can manage your cholesterol even better. The problem with today's population is that we rather take a pill than to actually do the work and do what is necessary for our bodies, and do the right diet and do the right exercises, because we don't want to do that. We want to keep our regular lifestyle the heck we want to do, and give me the pills. I won't do anything else. And I had a lot of people coming to me this week. I had a gentleman particularly. He was like, you know what, Sergio, give me all the pills that you want, because I'm not going to do anything. Like, oh, that's so, all right. Here are the pills, but it's not the best way. You guys want to learn about these levels and what is normal, how functional medicine can help us achieve balance to our body and get right. Last week, Kerry, we were talking about epigenetics, how our diet is actually affecting those epigenetic values.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. The sorry, got bug in my eye.
That's what happens when you go on the outside.
Right?
This is live, guys. This is live.
Yeah, it's very important to understand the epigenetic values. It all has a big role. You guys got to go watch that video because it's going to explain that, and we don't need to go into that even further. But yeah, you have to do the work. You have to put it in. You have to understand you and your body. And the thing is a lot of the blood work that we see to you guys is a general. It's it's the general population. We are looking at blood work based on you specifically and based on what we're trying to fix for you, which is your hair loss. And so, that's why it's so significant to understand. So, yeah.
Also, no, don't worry. Biz, going back to the TSH levels, a lot of people, they look at those, and again, they tell them this range is normal. What is the real range that we should be looking at?
So for TSH, is a thyroid stimulating hormone. The functional medicine range is 0.5 to 2 micro per milliliter. Let me just see what is the Western medicine range, because I don't know it. Western medicine range.
It's 0.5 up until 4, something like that.
It's like 4 till 4. 0. You're right. 0.4 to 0.4 till 4. And in functional medicine, it has to be. I was just looking it up, so I can say the number properly. It has to be from 0.5 to 2. So basically, we have anybody who is from having the TSH from 2 to 4. These people that are having the values from 2 to 4, according to their doctor, you are normal. Go home. And they will not run further investigations like why it's causing this TSH to be higher. Is it your T3? Is your T4? Is the reverse T3? Is the reverse T4? Which one it is? Because TSH is the umbrella of everything happening under your thyroid. So basically, all these people from 2 to 4, you go home, you're good. But it's not. It's not good, especially if you are experiencing hair loss. If you're not experiencing hair loss, you may get away with it for a couple of years if you are under 40. But also when you're above 40, when you're starting the hormonal imbalances in your body, the first thing is going to kick in is problem in your thyroid, because like in your 20s and 30s, all your TSH values came back normal, but you didn't do anything about it. However, if you take these values and compare it to functional medicine values or optimal values, even if you're not having any hair loss problem, we're not talking about hair loss yet. just normal health, and it is actually above above 2, then there is a problem, either overproduction or underproduction. Something is not right and you have to address it, right? So this is and when it comes to hair loss, when you are above 2, you're going to have hair loss, and you go to your doctor, it will tell you it's normal. You have no idea why you're having hair loss. You're going to go ask all the people in the world on Facebook, I'm having hair loss, I don't know why, I don't know why, I'm crying every day. Now you are stressed out because your hair is falling and your blood works is normal and nobody can figure it out, and you can go start all you can spend $2,000 a month on supplements, and it is only wrong reading.
Wow.
Wrong reading.
And that's a huge problem, because again, when we do not understand the values, and of course, I mean, I go to my general practitioner and he will read out the labs, and his concern will be based upon, my general health. As long as I'm not needed to go to a emergency room, and everything is,
Yes.
we can manage it, we can work with it, and that's about it. And I mean, they are our doctors, and we respect their work. And I mean, every time I have a cough or something like that, I will go and try to work it out. But whenever it comes about hair loss, it's a whole different ball game, guys. It's a whole different ball game. And unfortunately, not everyone is an expert on hair loss. For hair loss expertise, you go to a trichologist. This is the people that you go to. And unfortunately, not every trichologist out there are doing the work that they're supposed to be doing. Unfortunately,
Or they're not
I
trained
have,
the
yeah.
same way.
The problem is training. Again, we understand that a lot of people are undertrained, and a lot of people are doing crazy things. Unfortunately, but you want to keep your ear to the ground, and you want to hear people like us. You want to hear the hair wire. You want to pay attention to what we're saying here, and to the people who talk just like us, who believe in the same principles about hair loss and how we treat hair loss. That's going to give you a strategic advantage, first of all, to maintain the hair that you have, and to finally regain that hair that you have lost. Because the thing is, people, if you don't realize how soon you can detect your hair loss issues, unfortunately, it's going to be too late. It's going to be too late later on, because the problem is, as we lose hair, we don't get it fully back. Think about this for a second.
Yeah.
Think about this. We as humans, we are all of us, we all are subject to telogen effluvium, and not just once, but a couple of times during our lifespan. So consider that if I have a huge telogen effluvium event, and that was my first, at least the first one that you know of, or at least the first one that you realize, because you may have experienced hair loss in the past, and you recover, and you be like, well, that's okay, I never had telogen fluid. Yes, you did. You just didn't realize it, because it wasn't as huge as it is right now. And maybe this event of telogen effluvium is the one that got your attention. Good. Now that you get that it has your attention, realize this: your hair's not going to be the same.
Yep.
It will get better, but it will never be the same. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they are thinking about, well, Sergio, why is my hair not growing as thick as it was when I was 15 years old? Why is that? Well, because your body is changing, and things in your body are not working properly. And unfortunately, because of that, what's going to happen? Well, your hair
Yep.
is going to grow thinner.
Yep. Yep.
It's going to grow thinner. It's going to look less, and not necessarily because you have less amount of hair, but just because it is thinner, it looks like you have a whole bunch less. And even though if you gain it back, because that's the beauty of it, our scalp will reproduce that hair that you just lost. It will help. Yeah, consider, our follicles are meant to produce hair, period. So if they lose a hair, what are they going to do? They're going to reproduce a new piece of hair. But because the life the life cycle was shortened, you will have in the next follicle, the next hair will be thinner and shorter than what it was previously. And that does not even mean that you're experiencing miniaturization, which is another big one. A lot of people misunderstand that whenever they are experiencing thinner, shorter hairs, not necessarily is miniaturization, because miniaturization is it is something that is more commonly subject to alopecia, androgenetic alopecia, not just telogen effluvium. So miniaturization will happen on androgenetic alopecia, not necessarily on telogen effluvium. Although over time, if I don't correct the cycle, what's going to happen to my follicles? Well, they're going to be producing thinner, shorter hair, and they will resemble a androgenetic alopecia type of pattern. And that's what we want to avoid. That's what we want to avoid, and we want to keep the hair that we have. So understanding blood values and how the normal is not necessarily normal. We want optimal levels to regrowth hair, optimal levels so that our metabolism is able to fight the shortening of the life cycle on our follicles.
Yeah. Let me add to this, Sergio. You raised a very,
Please.
very important. You raised a very important subject here between how to maintain your health and how to maintain your hair. Your hair. They are two different things. So in Western medicine and conventional medicine, they want us to be to not to be healthy. They want they 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 want us to have no pain. For example, if I have a headache, I'll go to a doctor and he'll give me something for my headache to decrease my suffering. Let's put it that way, to decrease my suffering. Western medicine is important. When I break my hand, they need to fix it right away. So Western medicine is great for acute responses of your body, right? However,
Yes.
if you have been listening to us for that long, hair loss is not an acute thing. Hair loss, right, happens over time. Even telogen effluvium, which is an acute hair loss, sudden hair loss after an injury or a trauma that happened to you, from health perspective, it didn't happen overnight. Your health has been deteriorating over many weeks and many months until that sickness came and broke it, and now you broke into telogen effluvium. You got what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Now, telogen effluvium is an acute incident that happened after an acute, let us say, COVID-related hair loss. That's a telogen effluvium, right? But
Exactly.
but if you have a supreme optimal immune system, you may not have that COVID. So COVID happened because you got that COVID or that flu or that very bad illness because your immunity has been compromised. Your vitamin D levels are not optimal. Your zinc level is not good. Your vitamin C is not good. Your immunity is compromised. That's why when you got this virus, you fell ill. You got what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, yeah. The gut isn't right. So
Correct.
yeah.
So, and that is because our food is not good, our soil is not good. So it's a chain of events that made you have this illness, and this illness made you have telogen effluvian episode. So that is the difference between Western medicine and functional medicine. Western medicine is good for today. Functional medicine is good for tomorrow, preventing you from being sick, from being ill, from having bad fevers or so on. Now, hair loss actually it goes one level even deeper, because hair loss, as you all know, the hair follicle is an essential tissue for your body. So
Exactly.
the first thing to suffer if you have any nutrient deficiency is your hair follicle. And as what Sergio was saying, hair is create or the hair follicle is created to produce more hair. But over time, you have nutrient deficiencies, you have hormonal imbalances, illnesses. Like this hair follicle is gonna be tired. It's gonna wear out. It's not gonna really actually give you the hair that you are looking for. Over time, also as what Serge is saying, aging over time will miniaturize your hair, and that is a normal process. And usually people, if they are not paying attention to their health, you won't see your hair loss until it's actually 60% into your hair loss. That's, my friends, is a big deal. You already lost 60% of your hair until you realize it. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal.
It's a huge deal.
Go ahead, Carrie.
No, I was saying that's a huge deal. A lot of people don't really make, become when it's almost too progressive. Yeah.
And now it's harder to reverse it because you're starting from a really bad point in a way. But if you prevent it and you consult with a functional trichologist from the beginning, you will never be that far.
And that's the whole idea, to preserve, to
Right.
keep the hair that we have. Unfortunately, a lot of people, they don't look for answers until there's something really bad going on. And we have the advantages today. Now that it's not that bad, is when you want to take action. But if you are suffering from hair loss right now, think about this, guys. Think about this. Keep what you have. Reverse some of it, and it will be excellent. Now, a lot of people, they get upset if they don't see growth. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, keeping what you have is a win. Keeping what you have is a win. Take that as a win. Why? Because you're not getting worse. And that's the whole point. We want to keep what you have, not to get worse, not to keep experiencing heavy shedding, not to keep experiencing thinning of that hair. All right. So keeping what you have, even though it may not look as glamorous as it once were, but it is best that you can do. It is the best that you can do right now. It is the best that you can have at this moment. So, feel good about it, because a lot of people don't realize, losing hair is one of those things that once the follicle becomes cicatricial, you can never get it back. And once it becomes cicatricial, the only option that is left for you is what? To do a hair transplant. So we have to take what we have and make it better. Now, let's talk about iron levels. This, walk us through this, because a lot of people, they know about ferritin, they hear about iron, but what's the relationship here, and what are the levels that we should be looking at?
So I was looking at it. So basically, iron and ferritin are very important markers for hair loss, right? Or hair growth, let me say that. So, for example, in conventional medicine, the ferritin levels are 20 to 500 in men, 20 to 200 in women. Okay? Keep that in mind. The ferritin level in functional medicine is 40 to 100. That is 400 difference, my guys. For guys, like 20 to 500 in men, in functional medicine is 40 to 100. That's a big difference. And now when you come to iron levels in normal ranges in conventional medicine is 50 to 170. In functional medicine is 85 to 130. So you see the difference. I was reading the numbers. So do you see the difference? It's like 300 points or 70 points in iron. That's a lot of difference. So for example, if a woman has, and we all know that a lot of iron, a lot of ferritin is actually as bad as low iron and low ferritin, right? It's actually equally bad. They're gonna both affect your hair loss. So let me read this for you. So we said that the iron level for functional medicine is 85 to 130. However, if a woman have the normal range for a woman, she went to a doctor and she did her iron levels and it came back normal. Okay. When it came back normal and it is higher than functional medicine, you know what happens to her hair? She's going to start losing her hair. Do you know why? Let me. I'm just looking for something here. No, it's gone. Anyway, do you know why? I'm just reading labels. I mean numbers. I can't memorize numbers. You know why? Because high iron levels in your blood will gonna cause you inflammation. Inflammation causes hair loss. It's gonna cause nutrient absorption problem. When you have high levels of iron, you're not gonna absorb copper and zinc properly. And we all know if you have no copper and zinc, you don't have zinc, you don't have immunity, you don't have copper, you have white hair or gray hair, right? And that
Yeah.
is very common it's very common. When you have white hair, check your copper levels. Well, if you have high iron levels, it's not going to absorb your copper levels. Then you're going to premature aging. You're aging prematurely your hair, and you're going to compromise your immunity. You have low immunity. You have alopecia areata, maybe, or any kind of secretional alopecias, right? As Sergio was saying. Also, high iron levels will cause oxidative stress. And when oxidative stress means that you have a lot of free radicals roaming around in your body, just damaging all the tissues, damaging everything going on. Your body is under overload. Your body is trying to protect itself. We'll forget about hair for now. So you ended up with little bit of iron level that is higher than what it should be optimally, and you have no idea because your doctor said you're good, because the difference is they are 300 points. 300 points is what, right? So
Yeah.
you end up with, you're okay, you're normal, your iron level is good, I don't know why you're complaining. You end up with inflammatory hair loss, you'll end up with alopecia, you will end up with oxidative stress, and all these things you're gonna have even more problem than hair loss on the long run. We know all these things are hosting cancerous cells, feeding cancerous cells. So you started with, you're fine, you're good, I don't know why you're complaining. You got me, guys?
Yeah.
I got you. Got you.
Can you talk about too, Visan, the importance of when you should do blood work? I find a lot of times with blood work, a lot of people will take it around, during ovulation or, after they ran a marathon. Can we please talk about that? I find, especially where I am, I have a lot of people who will come and have issues, and I'm like, well, what happened to you last week? What happened to you that your blood reported that way? Yeah, please go into
It's a
that.
very, I'm so glad you said that. It's a very, very, very important part of your blood work. And people do not realize that. And no doctor will tell you when to do it and what is the optimal time to do it. Doctors will tell you, I wrote you a blood work, go do it. Right? And
Yeah.
we don't know, we go do it. Right? And
Yeah.
my God, and the results will came back all messed up, and it will be not actually true reading. First of all, especially for women, when you want to do your blood work, you have to do it in your in between day 1 and day 3 of your cycle. Day 1 and day 3 of your cycle is the optimum time where your body released all the stress, released everything that is building up from your ovulation all the way to your period, coming your period. This is the day 1 to day 3 is the optimum. I know it is weird, is you're bleeding or you're and you're in pain or something, but this is where your hormones are in optimum levels depending on your physical status. You got me? Your physical status. So when I am on ovulation, my progesterone will be super high. While I'm in my bleeding period, my progesterone is normal, because I'm already done with all the processes that my body has to go through all my cycle until it get me to that point. Even this is true for TSH. This is true for your thyroid. This is true for all your hormones. And this is true for going backwards to your cholesterol, to your vitamin D, because all these are precursors to your hormones. Right? All their metabolic things are precursors to your hormones. So when you go in your ovulation, where your hormones are preparing your body to get pregnant, this is not optimal normal you. Your cholesterol is off, your vitamin D is off, your iron is low, your progesterone is off. No. And then when you go, it's like, why I'm having all these problems? It's just because the readings is wrong. Now, when it comes to guys, guys, they can go in any time, basically, because we cannot gauge. Guys go through cycles too, their hormonal cycles too. But since we don't have a physical evidence for guys, whatever cycle they are in, we don't know. But don't go as guys as concerned. Don't go when you are in a low mood. Testosterone is responsible for your mood. Testosterone is responsible for your showing up in the world. That's true for women too. This is why our testosterone is the best. It's in the day 1 to day 3 of our cycle, and basically first week of our cycle. Testosterone it's your I am here hormone, right? So
Yeah.
for guys, if you are feeling low, you're feeling off, that's not a good testosterone day for you. So stay
Nope.
low. You know what I mean? Also, one more important factors for guys and girls, women, is you're taking supplements. Do not go if you are on supplements. You're going to be having wrong readings. You have to stop your supplements 5 to 10 days before your blood work has been taken. Also, when you want to go to your, don't go right after your illness. Right after your illness, your lymphocytes are through the roof.
Yeah.
Then that's a wrong reading. Also, like, don't go to do your blood work and you are, for example, changing homes, or changing like big environmental space or physical space, or you are in a trauma, or you are like, you have to pick up a good
Yeah, because the
day for
stress levels are so high that they're gonna eventually affect the levels.
everything affects the level. So I know it's a bit hard because life goes on, but you have to pick a day on that month where you are kind of stable emotionally, stable mentally, stable in everything. Kind of when you're bored, go do your blood work. It's a good way to do it.
That's a good one. I mean, for some people, I know that they're watching and they'll be like, well, for me, then I will never get a blood work because
I
I'm
know.
so stressed all day.
I know, but also if you're stressed out, your cortisol levels are high, then your glucose level is high, then they're gonna put you on diabetes medicine, but you actually don't have diabetes. All what you have is insulin resistance, and insulin resistance problem can be solved by lowering your cortisol level.
Yeah.
Also, one of the things that you want to make sure before you're taking blood work, when should I stop taking supplements to make sure that my blood work is true? When?
10 days if you are having fat soluble vitamins like vitamin D or any synthetic hormones, because they take more time than water soluble vitamins like B complex or all the other stuff. So I would say 10 days minimum.
And that's huge because unfortunately we take supplements and we don't consider that to affect values in our blood work. For instance, a lot of people take biotin and they forget
Yes,
that biotin has a huge impact on TSH and other and other categories in our blood that
right.
are being considered. And um, if you're taking that before your blood work, you're not going to get a true reading. And unfortunately, if you get the wrong reading, what's going to do your doctor? Is going to prescribe you for a medication that you may not need, or may not give you a medication that you actually need,
Right.
which is a huge issue.
Yeah.
So consider when to take your blood samples is a huge factor.
Yeah.
Carrie.
Like some people say, sorry, just some people say 3 days is enough. 3 days is not enough. 3 days is enough if you're taking vitamin C or B complex. But what about the hormone precursors or the fat solubles? They need time to get out of your
Vitamin
system.
E, vitamin D.
Right. They need time.
Yeah.
You want to say something, Carrie?
No,
Sorry, I
she
cut you
actually
off.
said what I was going to say.
Sorry, when it comes to this is my area. This is what I'm good at anyway. So when it comes to this, I'm so passionate about it. And I keep telling people, I was like, all my clients, why I'm having hair loss. Well, I'm not going to tell you why until I see your blood work. Then I'll tell you why. Then I'll tell you why and 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 why. All the whys that you want. But I believe your gut health, your blood health is the biomarkers, or this is what is going to give us the answers for your hair loss.
Yeah,
I
it's
truly
all
believe it.
it's yeah, it's all connected. And people
It's
don't realize that.
yes.
Very important. Those are the type of details that we want to share with you here at the Hair Wire, guys. Because again, you want to be smart about your hair, particularly when you go to a doctor and they send you for blood work. Well, excellent. You're going to have some blood work, but when you go to the lab to get that blood work, you have to consider what are you taking, your supplements, your vitamins. How many hours before you take your blood you had your last meal? That's something that a lot of people don't even consider. There's a reason why many of the blood work that are done, you have to be fasting for at least 10 hours, so that you're sure that the reading will be as true as possible. So same thing with the details that Bisan has been sharing with you. When in the month, for when in your cycle is the best time to go in. When after you're taking X amounts of supplements and vitamins, how many days in between do I need to leave out before? Those things you need to consider, because again, you want the best reading possible. And with that information, then we can build a treatment plan to help you, first of all, keep the hair that you have, maximize and optimize nutritional levels so that your output of hair growth will be maximum. And this is what we want, guys. This is what we hear at the Hair Wire. Anything you guys want to add before we leave? We need to wrap it up.
Yes.
No,
We
this is
good?
great.
All day long.
I've been waiting for this topic, and and if you haven't watched, this is a continued discussion from last week's topic on blood work. So make sure you go watch that one because it's juicy, it's great, and very informative about blood work. So
Super important, guys. Biz, this is your show. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for letting me show you my passion and say it passionately the way I love to do this stuff. Because means a lot to me, and this is how I begin my health journey. I Western medicine unfortunately didn't give me answers for my hair loss. It didn't give me answers for my GI issues, and I had to go do it all by myself and research. And I did a lot of mistakes through the way, but it made me learn all this. And this is why we are here for you guys, to give you our experiences. First of all, our personal experiences, and also the experiences we have with our clients, because we see clients every day from different parts of the world. We all do virtual consultations, and with different kind of clients. Some clients are more data oriented, some clients are more shampoo oriented. Give me that shampoo that's gonna stop my hair loss. So all kind of clients. So we need to cater for all this, and we need to explain to them what we believe it's right to stop their hair loss with most effective way possible. And thank you for letting me share all my passion with you guys.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, hit the like button, hit the subscribe, and of course, we want to see your comments. If you have any questions, please bring them up to us as soon as possible, and we're gonna be writing back to you with the best honest answer that we can. We're here to help you guys and to help you keep your hair. So, as we always say, keep it hair smart here at the Hair Wire. See you next time, guys. God bless you all. Bye bye.